Owning a car in China can be an expensive proposition, especially if you live in one of the bigger cities. You know, it comes from everything from licensing, insurance, to actually purchasing a car, especially if it's a foreign car, and parking. Parking is very expensive too. There's been a video circulating on Chinese social media here about an interesting couple of cars left at the Beijing airport. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Rojo Reads the News. I'm your host, Paul. Today we have a quick article from GIC Expat. It says a 1 million RMB Porsche left in parking lot for 6 years after the owner, what? So it kind of teases you with the title of this a little bit, right? A video has been trending in the Chinese media recently. If you had a Porsche or a Lexus, would you drive it? Chances are you would. The owners of the two luxury cars shown in the video haven't for 6 years. And when I first read this, I thought, okay, why? I mean, do they just have that many, are they that rich and they have that many cars just lying around? They just forgot about these cars? But the reason why they haven't is very tragic. Might even pull at your heartstrings a little bit. Parked in the Beijing Capital International Airport, the first thing you see when you walked past these two cars isn't so much the branded logo, but the amount of dust that's accumulated over the years. I mean, look at this. It's shocking to me that management of the airport hasn't done anything about this, towed them. Or if you had this in the States, people would think it was an abandoned car and it would probably get towed or stolen. What's more, the parking fee is now up to, holy crap, 90,000 RMB. 90,000, how much is that? Hey Siri, what is 90,000 Chinese yuan in US dollars?
Chinese yuan is $12,646.67.
$12,646 US dollars in parking fees. I think I spent like 5 or 6 hours at the coffee shop today, and my total fee was 9 RMB or $1.50. Upon seeing this, netizens begun speculating why they had not been claimed, with one commenting, "Are the owners so rich with so many cars in their garage that they forgot they'd left one of them at the airport?" But after some deeper investigation using the license plate numbers, what came out brought nothing but silence and shock. As it turns out, the owners of this Porsche and Lexus were both passengers of the Malaysian Airlines MH370 that mysteriously disappeared on March 8, 2014, which was scheduled to fly from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing. Wow, we forget about that because it was so many years ago. But I remember it was all over the news. It was like the news story for like a month. What happened to that plane? Still nobody knows. If everything had gone according to plan, they would have landed back in Beijing, gotten in their car and driven home to resume their everyday life. Unfortunately, as we all know, life went a completely different direction for them. Relatives of the deceased never moved the cars, as they are reminders of the lives lost, still waiting for their owners to come back. So that's interesting. The relatives have kept their cars at the airport and won't move them because they are hoping that they will show up one day and come back and claim the cars. A manifestation of how precious and fragile our own lives are, and to make the most of the time we have. Because despite everyone's assumption that we will live until our 80s or 90s, it could very well be taken away as quickly as it has been given to us. Yeah, it's a pretty true statement, I suppose, right? You know, we all hope to live forever, but you never know what can happen. So what do you think? What should happen to these vehicles? Should they stay there forever? Perhaps they should be made into a makeshift memorial for the passengers of that flight. Or should the relatives claim them, and maybe the airport can give them a pass on the enormous parking bill? I'm sure the airport would be generous with that. What do you think? Comment below. Let me know.